My name is Hunter, and I am a mechanic for NetApp Endura. And we just got a hold of the new Fuji road bike, and we're going to set it up for a couple of our riders today so they can take it for a spin. This is the new Fuji Transonic frame, and we're looking at a fast bike.
The difference between an aero road bike and a traditional road bike is the shaping and the aerodynamic advantage that it provides. And up to this date, I think a lot of aero road bikes have had some negatives. They're not stiff enough, they may be heavy, but if you could remove those obstacles, and I don't think there's any drawback to the Transonic. It's stiff, it's light, it performs well, it's got excellent geometry. Why wouldn't you want that aerodynamic advantage? That's the way I look at it. When your speed increases, a vast majority of the power that you put out is to overcome the wind resistance.
Yeah, just the shape of the frame, you can see straight away that it's going to cut the wind a hell of a lot faster.
When you look the design, you know this bike born in the wind tunnel, no? Is look like the sister, no, of Norcom. It's a really aero bike.
We took what we learned from the Norcom and the Track Elite and all the hours that we spent in the wind tunnel, and we incorporated it into this design. If you look at how the fork on the Norcom straight and is contoured into the down tube, we did a similar design element in the Transonic. We took a lot of the tube profiles, modified them to improve the stiffness of the frame and some of the characteristics of contouring the frame around the brakes. The seat tube is aero-shaped, the seat post is aero-shaped, and if you're using a Di2 frame, it'll have an internal battery that fits into the seat post. Also, the cables are internal. They're completely enclosed inside the frame. The seat bolt is internal.
It looks fast. It looks really fast. I've seen the bike for the first time, yeah.
Well, you want every bit of power you're putting out to go into the bike, into the back wheel, so you propel yourself forward. Stiffness is your primary concern. After that, most of the sprints take place over 60k an hour, so the aerodynamics make a bigger and bigger difference.
The way we achieved the excellent stiffness is really twofold. It's through the design process in designing the down tube and the chainstay, which is really the backbone of any frame for excellent power transfer, oversized to achieve excellent stiffness, but also with carbon frames, it's also part of the layup process. Picking the right materials. Also with the down tube, cross-sectional width of the down tube. It's wide section, but also aerodynamic, and we worked on the contouring of the frame. If you look at the Transonic, it has smooth edges everywhere, but also carbon doesn't like sharp angles, so any smoother transition in the tube walls helps the carbon perform in its best characteristic. We really worked on the bottom bracket area also to provide a very wide cross-section to give it excellent stiffness.
A really big thing is the whole bike is stiff. It's not like you're putting the pressure through the bottom bracket. If you've got a rear end made out of spaghetti, it doesn't matter how much power you're putting through the bottom bracket, it's not going to transfer to the back wheel to the road. At the same time, if you've got a front end that's that little speed wobble, you don't feel as confident on the thing, and you are losing that watts for nothing, actually. So you need every part of the bike to be most stiff so that you can take a direct line.
For a sprint, yeah, it has to be fast and stiff. The weight not really matters, and good cornering as well, so that you can actually like change positions fast and reacting fast. So.
I rode one of the first prototypes and was really blown away by how stiff it was and how solid the bike felt. And then at that point, I was pretty happy with the frame. We made some adjustments to the layup, improved the stiffness even a little bit more. We provided some test frames to the team. We had them fill out a very detailed report. We spent several weeks on the frame testing the prototype. I did several Skype calls with them talking to some of the feedback they gave me.
I tried the new frame 2 months ago. It was a really nice experience, no? The bike I like a lot, and for me have 2 points really important, no? One of these points is in the downhills. You feel the bike really safe, really precise in the corners, no? You can put off the hands from the handlebar, and you feel the bike go in the same direction. Really stable, no? And for me this is really important, no? Can feel safe in your bike, no? And another point I like it a lot is when you go in the flat, it's really easy to keep good speed. You can go 50 per hour or 45 km per hour with another bike, and it's harder than with this bike, no? You feel when you take it this speed, you can keep more easier.
On a downhill run, when it's stiff, then you're not as worried. When you're on the front end of a bike and it feels a bit jittery, you do brake a little easier, whereas if you know the bike's solid, it's fast, then you do descend away. I'm looking forward to seeing that advantage for myself, actually.
That the head tube and the top tube are stiff enough, that the bike is not shaking when you do like 100 km per hour, that you're still safe, or when you are just with one hand on the bike, or without hands when you take bottles from the cars, that the bike is still like smooth and going straight and not shaking around.
I think the bike excels the most on flatlands, feels really fast, and descents, because on descents it's rock solid with your stiffness and geometry and the stability. It can also climb well because it's lightweight, it has excellent power transfer.
I think the bike will help us to get victories in the Tour de France. No?
So we really need to have the best tools for the job, and then that'll carry through to the last week. My job will be to keep the climber out of the wind, maybe to sneak a result, or if I'm doing the lead out, and in all three of those situations, and this bike will really help. I'm really excited to have a bike that's going to provide best opportunities for me to get results and to do the best job I can all the time.
For me as a rider, it looks like perfect. It's light and stiff and fast, so yeah, I'm looking forward to ride it. Yeah.
Alex Sensvega, my director, said to me at the start of the Vuelta, anything you can save in any way is important. So for example, we take the elevator, you don't take the stairs, you don't get up and go on Facebook and sit at breakfast for 2 hours on a wooden chair. You have to really count every bit of energy so that you can put it all onto your bike. Same thing with the bike, if you can save 10 watts every day, that's a hell of a lot of energy by the end of the Grand Tour.
It provides an aerodynamic advantage. It's stiff, one of the stiffest Fuji's ever done. It's lightweight, it's not the lightest, but it is competitive. You would want to ride this bike if you want every single advantage you can get from a road bike. When NetApp gets on this bike in the Tour, no question about it, it's going to make them faster.